ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Okay. So we are looking at Tatpurusha samasas, and in that we are only looking at the samasas which go with the vibhakti name. Dvitiya Tatpurusha, Tritiya Tatpurusha, Chaturthi Tatpurusha, Panchami Tatpurusha we were saying last time. What do you understand by Panchami Tatpurusha? The Vigraha Vakya, the first word will be in Panchami Vibhakti, right? And what the compound denotes will be the Uttarapada. That much you should know, minimally. So we saw last time. Second, let me share my file with you. Okay. So last time we saw this Panchami Bhayena. So a word ending in the fifth case can combine with the word Bhaya to form a fifth case Tatpurusha compound. And the word Bhaya, Vartikara says, should be extended to include not only Bhaya, Bhaya, Bhita, Bhiti, Bhihi, all these words should also be included. And, even the Jugupsu, Nirgata, these words also should come. So extra words which have not been said by the Sutra are indicated by the commentators, right? So, Chorat Bhayam, Vrikat Bhiti, all what do you fear from? The source of fear is in Panchami. That's how this samasa was seen. But though the Panchami Bhakti will allow even Rakshanam, Chorat Rakshitaha, that kind of usage cannot be made into a compound. So the compounds are not widely open sometimes. And sometimes though the rule is there, there'll be extension. So the green is marking extensions, the red is marking restrictions. Okay. So this is how you will find when it comes to Panini Sutra. And if you don't have Panini Sutra, what do you have? Then you have the whole language to deal with. So Panini Sutra makes life easier, but it doesn't mean it's all defined to the T. No I's are dotted and T's are crossed. It's not like that. A lot of things in language which we have to understand. It takes more study to know. Not grammar, study the language. Okay. So then, now there's the next sutra. I'm not so much interested in sutra. You will see what I'm trying to show you here in a minute. But the next sutra says, there are some words like what? Apeta, apodha, mukta, patita, apatrasta. All these words, they combine the Panchami ending word to form a compound. So I think we did see this last time also, right? So Sukhad apetaha, Swargat patitaha, Kalpanayaha podhaha, Chakrat mukta. We see all this, right? And there was the word Alpashaha. In the sutra, there was a word Alpashaha. And that word, I said, just means that Alpashaha iti samasasya alpavishayata machashte. Now, what does alpavishaya mean? The word alpa can have many meanings. But here, I took it as saying it is talking of a restricted usage. Because the next line in the Kashika says, Alpa Panchami Samasyate na sarva. It means not all fifth case ending words will combine some will, a subset will. So the word alpa can also mean gradually. But that kind of a meaning I don't think fits here. This fits better. And even if the word gradual, because somebody asked me the question, even if the word gradual fits, it would become a subset of the meaning I gave you. What meaning I gave you will include gradual, but if gradual is not the right meaning, you will have more trouble. So better to keep it as, see, simple thing is what? Not all fifth cases words can combine with these words. That's all. Why do you have to worry about this? When you see a word, if you see these words, you know it's a compound, it's done. You don't even need to worry what words are avoided because you're not trying to write a compound. If you're trying to write a book with a lot of compounds, then you have to know a lot more. Okay? So don't let your mind get too worked about nitty-gritties of these kind of rules because there is no end to it. I appreciate the desire to be more, pretty kind of to the point. Very good. That objectivity is very good. But at the same time, saying this will not help you a whole lot in terms of understanding. So won't increase much. Okay. Then now next sutra talks about this. Stokantika durartha krichrani tena. So what is it meaning now? Stoka, antika, dura. Stoka, sandhi, just sandhi is being broken, okay? Stoka, antika, dura, artha. Means what? These three words and their equivalent, synonymous words. Okay? Stokantika dura will be what? What kind of a compound? Stokascha, antikascha, durascha, dvandva. Okay? And then stokantika durartha will be what now? Those which have the meaning of stoka, antika, and dura. What kind of compound would that be? Can it be Tatpurusha? Yes, Priyanka.
Bahuvrihi?
Has to be Bahuvrihi, right? So, stoka, antika, duraha, arthaha, yesham, te. So, stokantika, durartha. Then what else? Krichra. So, stokantika, durartha and krichra is another compound. And what kind of compound? Dvandva again. You get what I'm saying? See, first stokantika dura is dvandva. Then stokantika durartha is bahuvrihi. Then that bahuvrihi is being combined with the word krichra to make one more dvandva. So all compounds, okay? Yes, Harsha?
Swamiji, can I not consider it as Tesha Martaha and as 6TP? How do I know when to use Bahuvrihi and when?
Context. Context. No other way to know it contextually. And I know what to say. See, I'm reading the meaning here, right? Stoka antika dura itya marthaha shabdaha. So words other than these, which have that meaning. So I know it. Okay. The question is valid, but there is no simple rule to say when is which. You have to see the context and understand. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, in that extension of Harsha's question only, because Artha is there, that means it is, that Uttar Pada is there. It's not Anya Pada, the Artha related to these words.
No. See, what we are looking at is this. You will see. Wait for 5 minutes. Then if you still have the question, I'll answer it, okay? And the Krichra Shabda, they will combine with the word ending in fifth case. And what samasa? It will make a Tatpurusha samasa. See, Panini does not call it Panchami Tatpurusha, Shashti Tatpurusha. All this is later. We add for our convenience because you label it and you know what to do with it. Okay. So, words having the meaning of stoka, antika, and dura. This is the meaning you want. You will not get this meaning with anything but bhuti. Okay. That's the meaning we need. And that meaning will come only with bhuti. So, and the word krichra, ending in the fifth case, and the word krichra ending in the fifth case may combine the word ending in ta pratyaya. Why? Here it says ktena. Ta pratyaya, ta antena. That's the meaning. Ending with ta means what? You should remember gata, pita, bhukta, all these ta pratyaya. Then what are the examples? Stoka. First word, stoka. Stokat muktaha. Stokat muktaha means what? Freed by a little. You got away by, by a small margin kind of thing. Stokat, you got away cheap. Stokat muktaha. Same, now stoka has the meaning of little. Therefore, another word, alpat muktaha. You cannot get this word alpa unless you make it bahuri. Okay? Stokartha will not do anything. Stokaha artha yasya. That one only will give the word alpa. Okay? So, you can now bring in any number of words. It doesn't matter which ones. So, alpat muktaha, same meaning as the above. Then what? Antika means what? Near. Antikat agataha. Came from near. Coming from near. Agata. Then synonyms will be what? Abhyasha. Abhyasha also means antika. Abhyashat agataha. Then dura word. Durat agataha. Came from far. Another word for dura is viprakrishta. Viprakrishtat agataha. Then krichra. Krichrat muktaha. But with krichra, it doesn't say you can have artha. That artha ended here. Therefore, only the word krichra. You cannot have another equivalent word of krichra. Krichra means difficult. You cannot use a synonym. You have to use the word krichra only. That's the extra of this word artha here. It brings in synonyms. Okay, and to bring synonyms, it has to be bahuri. So this krichrat abdaha means gained with difficulty. Krichrat muktaha means freed with difficulty. So you hear this Chandrayana, Krichra Chandrayanam, more difficult, Vrata. Now, what the reason partly I took these words are not so important for us. But now do you notice one thing here? It is not Stoka Mukta, it is Stokan Muktaha. Should have been Stoka Mukta. Pratipadika is Stoka. This should have been what? Alpa Muktaha. It's what? Alpan Muktaha. Which means the Alpat, that fifth case ending is not dropped. Ending is not dropped. When the ending of the Purvapada is not dropped, the case ending is not dropped, that dropping is called look. In Paninian language, it is called look. Look means what? The whole pratyaya gets dropped. See, when anything gets dropped, we can say lopaha. Lopaha is adarshan, not being seen. But we have, for reasons which you will understand maybe one day, Panini has three more words called look, shlu, and lup. They all mean what? A whole pratyaya is swallowed. A whole pratyaya is swallowed. So what does look mean? The whole pratyaya is swallowed. Which pratyaya? The subanta pratyaya. So normally when you make a compound, the subanta pratyaya, the vibhakti ending at the end of the purvapada and uttarapada are both dropped. Then what happens? You add a new vibhakti to the new pratipadika, whatever you need in the sentence. But the uttarapada will always, you will add one more, so you won't see its case missing in a way. But purvapada case missing, you will definitely observe. It's always gone. When it doesn't go, na look, aluk. When look doesn't happen, it is called aluk. Nanjtamasa. And therefore, this is an example of what aluk, another way of classifying, whether the vibhakti ending drops or not. By that, you can call it aluk samasa if it drops it. If it does not drop the vibhakti ending, it is called aluk samasa. So that is part of the reason why I want to cover this particular sutra. So for you to understand that panchamyaha stokadibhyaha iti aluk. That's a sentence. What does it mean? In these compounds, the fifth case ending after the first word in the compound is retained even in the compound. It's not dropped. Better way is to say it's not dropped. And compounds featuring non-dropping of case endings of the Purupada are called aluk samasas. Is the term understood? Okay. Yes, Harshna.
Swamiji, so for Krichra, you know, if there is a substitute for Krichra, and if I use fifth case, you know, it'll look the same because it.
Yeah, correct. Agreed. Aluk samasa will look the same. Correct. That's true.
Okay.
But you will find situations where the swara, we don't look at swara the compound, but only one swara. And also in certain cases, you will see that the prior word case is not changing, only the latter is changing. I'll show you a few more examples. Okay, valid point. That when you look at it, whether stokat muktaha is a compound or stokat muktaha is two different words is not relevant. It's not clear to us. Based on our understanding, it won't be clear to us. Okay, that's how it will be. But if we knew swaras, then you would know. Because there will be one swara. But again, say our interest is not in knowing aluk, what is happening exactly. You understand is also a compound. It's called aluk compound. When you hear the word look, I want to understand. I am not interested in making you experts of Vyakarana at this point. That will take a lot more effort. Okay. Yes, Ganeshan.
Swamiji, Parasmaipati, Atmanepati is aluk example.
Yes, example. Correct. Absolutely. We'll look into that. Yes, Deepti.
So, Vijay, how will we distinguish whether it's a sandhi or a samasa? Because this subending is there.
Doesn't matter. I told you, you cannot distinguish. Just what I told, just now I said that to Harsha also. You cannot distinguish whether it's samasa or not. Okay. That's how it will be. All right. Okay. So, see, there are a whole bunch of situations where it happens. Now, you might ask, why this is there? Why make a compound? Hey, that's how the language is. All right. I am not here to justify it. I'm here to share with you what the language is. And as I said, today with the swaras not being there and me not identifying, it may not make a difference. But still, you will find some place that say, look, samasa. So you better know what it means. It just means the case ending. You know, for example, we'll see a few more. So now, this aluk means what? This is a special case where a Purvapada undergoes a change when compounding happens. Uttarapada, Purvapada, two words, so then a compound. The Purvapada undergoes a change in a particular way. All Purvapada changes in Paninian world are in 6th chapter, 3rd pada. Okay? So we'll go there for a minute. We will take a quick view and come back. So now we go to 6.3, 6th chapter, 3rd. See the first one, what it says? Aluk uttarapade. Aluk uttarapade. And what does it mean? It means when you have an uttarapada following. Now you have to remember something we learned long ago. What? Whatever in 6th case gets replaced. Right? When the condition is when something follows, what follows must be placed in 7th case. When something precedes, it must be put in 5th case. And whatever is the adesha, what has to be done is put in 1st case. Remember this vaguely somewhere? So now it is saying, aluk uttarapade. Uttarapade means what? When an uttarapada follows. When can uttarapada follow? Only in a compound. Okay? We're not talking of sentences. Vyakarana is Shabda Shastra, not Vakya Shastra. So when in a compound, an uttarapada is following, then what will happen? Aluk. Aluk will happen to what? Purvapada. Nowhere else. And what will be look? What is look? Look is whole pratyaya going away. What pratyaya? Sub pratyaya. One sentence. Aluk uttarapade. And this is a, the aluk will go up to 26 sutras, which means 631 to 6326 is a complete universe of wherever look will happen. And the compound will become what? Sorry, look won't happen. And the compound will become what? Aluk compound. Whole universe is 612, 612, 6312, 6325, 26. Okay. So anytime you see another compound, you should find a rule there. Okay, am I making sense? Just giving you a feel for how the sutras are organized. Okay. By the way. Now let's go back there. So this is the first sutra. This doesn't tell you when. You only know, the Purvapada will not drop its Subanta. When does it happen? For all compounds? No. Wait. This sutra is just giving you Adhikar rights. It doesn't tell you anything more. This sutra by itself, you cannot use to do anything. It is restricted and bound by all the sutras which follow. Or you can say it is made, its application made clear by the succeeding sutras, whichever way you want to look at it. So now let's look at the sext one. What to say? Panchamyaha stokadibhyaha. This is the next sutra. What does it mean now? Panchamyaha. Of the fifth case ending. Of the fifth case ending. This is Thani. This is the sixth case. What has to go? Okay. And what is it? What is it preceded? What is this Uttarapada preceded by? Stokadibhyaha. So you see now. Stokantika durartha krichrani. Stokadini. Tebhyaha parasyaha panchamyaha. So the Panchami, which is preceded by the word Stokadi. Panchami, therefore, preceded by. What has to be operated upon is this Vibhakti, Panchami Bhakti. The Panchami Vibhakti preceded by Stoka, etc. Which is the sutra we just saw. Those, what will happen to them? Uttarapade. When an Uttarapada follows, Aluk Bhavati. What's the example? Stokan Muktaha, Alpan Muktaha, Antikadagataha. You see all these examples, which are same example. Why? Because to form the word, you need to come. Okay? This is how it works. Does it make sense? Clear enough? Now let's look at the next one, just for fun, okay? A few. What does it say now? This, it is saying, Ojasaho, Ojaha, Sahaha, Ambasaha, Tamasaha, Tritiyayaha. Okay? Now, what is Tritiyayaha? Shashti Ekavachanam. This you catch. So that is the one to be operated, which means what? A third case ending. A third case ending. Preceded by what? Ojas, Sahas, Ambas, Tamas, etc. Because Panchami. This is fifth case. Therefore, Panchami is preceded by. So the Tritiya Vibhakti preceded by these means what? These words in the third case. The words Ojas, Sahas, Ambas, Tamas in third case. What will happen? When they compound, then the case ending won't drop. Example is what? You see this, for example, now. Janusha Andhaha. There's some more being added, okay? We'll see. Tamasa Kritam. This is important for us. Tamasa Kritam. What are the two words here? The compound is Tamasa Kritam. You remember we saw Tritiya ending with Kta can combine with words. Very easy. Lot of cases over you. Tamasa Kritam. Tamas is the Pratipadika. Tamasa is what case? Third case, singular. Right? Tamasa Kritam. What would you expect the compound to be? Tamas Kritam. That's what you expect to be. Right? You would expect the compound to Tamas Kritam. But what's the compound? tamasa kritam. You will not find tamas kritam. Why is it tamasa kritam? Because of aluk. Okay? But will not be, suppose I say, Krishnena kritam. It won't become Krishnena kritam. It will be what? Krishna kritam. Why? This rule is only applying to those 3 or 4 words. Okay? So, look, as I said, aluk really doesn't matter a whole lot because you will get the meaning by the vibhakti ending already. You don't have to worry about it. But this is how aluk samasas operate. Okay? Let's go back. Okay. Then, now we go to the next one. See now, manasaha sangyayam. What do we understand now? We don't know what it means, but manasa is panchami. Okay? Sangyayam means when it's a name, typically. Not a name. It's hard to say what a sangya. Sangya is like a sometimes the name, sometimes much more than that. It's a word which has specific meaning. Sometimes that Rudyartha is also called sangya. The word sangya I will not define today because it's not easy to make you understand it. All right. We need more Paninian understanding to get there. But here, manasa uttarasya tritiyaya. So again, a case of, a third case ending doesn't get dropped. Manasa sangata. Manasa datta. Words like this get formed. All I'm trying to show you is this a prapanchana of aluk. Let's not look at this. Look at this now. This is useful for us. Atmanaha. Panchami. The word atma, atman, in Panchami will become atmanaha. Atmanaha cha purane tritiyayaha. So you will have what? You will have atmana panchamaha. What does it mean? Fifth counting me. That kind of meaning will come. It should have been atma panchamaha. It becomes atmana panchamaha. Why? Oh, because of this. So like this, wherever it can happen, all the aluks are in this section. Okay. And as Ganeshanji pointed out, you will see that the examples will include this. See the word now? Atmana, Vayyakarana akhyayam. When in a grammatical you say, Vayyakarana akhya, Vayyakarana akhya, a name given by grammarians. In such a name, what? Uttaras, tasya atmanah uttarasya chaturthyaha alukti. So, atmane padam. Atmane bhasha. Not atma bhasha, not atma pada. Atmane padam. Tadarthya chaturthi is saying, So, compound is happening. Leave the other details. The important thing is, why not atma padam? Because of this rule. It's one word. Atmane pada is one word. So suppose you had many dhatus. What will you say? Atmane padani? Or atma or atmane? See, atmane, what will happen now? What will be the plural for atmane? Atmana, atmabhyam, atmabhihi. Atmane, atmabhyam, atmabhya. You would have said atmabhya and then said the next word. What do you say? Parasmai padinaha. You don't say, parasmai will be what? Parasmai, para is a sarvanama. What does sarvanama decline? Sarvasmai, sarvabhyam, sarvebhyah. Right? So I should have said what? Parebhyah, padebhyah. But what is it? Parasmai, padebhyah. Why? It's a compound. So in some places you can catch the difference. What's important for us? Parasmai pada, atmane pada, paratmai bhasha, atmane bhasha. They are all what? Chaturthi compounds. But aluk samasa. Okay? Aluk means the case ending doesn't drop. That's all you have to keep in mind. See, Atmane what said? Same another sutra. Parasmai padam, parasmai bhasha. Aluk example. Otherwise, you don't parapadam, parabhasha. But because of Aluk, it becomes like this. Then he gives you some more examples. Yudhishthiraha. You hear this name commonly. Yudhishthiraha. What does it mean? Yudhisthiraha. One who doesn't move in a battle. That's the meaning, etymological. But it's a name, sangya. And in a sangya, what happens? It becomes this aluk will happen. Yudh will not become yudhishthiraha. It becomes yudhishthiraha. So the word yudhishthira is only possible because of this rule. Halanta saptamyaha sangyayam. Not explaining all details to you here, how it happens. But just see aluk here, nothing more. It should have been yudhishthiraha, became yudhishthira. Right?
This is comedy.
Sorry?
This list is you're going in comedy.
No, oh, sorry. I didn't realize that I was doing that. But it seems to be going in the same sequence here too. 6-3. Thank you. I didn't realize that actually. I was just clicking the next button. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay. Karanam madhyat bandhe. Not very useful for us. No. So a lot of these will not be very interesting to us. See here, Varshe Jaha. What is born in the rain? Not Varsha Jaha. Both are possible here. Means it's an optional thing. See, Vibhasha. Vibhasha means option. Which means what? Aluk may happen, aluk may not happen. So you have two possibilities. Varshe Jaha, Varsha Jaha. Share Jaha, Shara Jaha. This is an example of optional aluk. Okay. That's good. No, that's good. Okay. This is an exception to the previous rule, which we are not interested in so much, but we'll leave it there. Give me 2 seconds, okay? I thought there was one or two interesting ones towards the end. That's why I was just checking to it. No, don't need anything more. That's enough for us. Yes, Bhuma, I'll take your question now.
Namaste, Swamiji. So this aluk samasa is only in Tatpurusha samasa. Do you
No.
have?
Don't assume anything.
Hmm.
Understand what? Whenever the Purupada doesn't drop its Vibhakti ending, it is called aluk samasa.
Okay.
Just that much. Don't
Okay.
worry anything more about it. If you come encounter it and I say, look, you understand that. That's the only purpose. Nothing more to be done.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So that's the reason why I did this sutra, so you understand stokat muktaha, etc. Okay. Aluk, to demonstrate aluk. Otherwise, this rule is not something which these compounds are not something we look too much in our Shastras. Okay. Then Shashti Tatpurusha. What is Shashti Tatpurusha now after Panchami? 6 case ending, that's all. This we have been seeing example from the day one. All right. So Shashtyantam Subantam Padam Samarthena Subantena Saha Samasyate. What does it mean? A sixth case ending Subanta Pada combines with another word to form what? Tat Purusha Samasa. Example is what? Ragyaha Purushaha, Raja Purushaha. This you are all very familiar with. All right. Then Madranam Raja. Madranam Raja is what? Madra Rajaha. What would you normally expect? Madra plus Rajan. Compound should have become Madra Rajan. Are you with me? Madranam Raja. Raja is coming from the Pratipadika Rajan. Raja, Rajano, Rajana. So Madranam Raja should have been what? Madra Rajan Pratipadika. And Madra Rajan should decline as what? Madra Raja, Madra Rajano, Madra Rajana. Why are we interested in Madra Raja? It's just a word, okay? But if you want to connect, whose sons were, Nakula and Sahadeva? Madri. Why is she called Madari? Because she came from Madra kingdom. So who would Madra Raja be? Her father. Okay, this is just some connection. So Madra Raja. Why Madra Raja? Why not Madra Rajan? Because in certain cases, this is an extra nuance to compounds. In certain cases, we add a pratyaya to the compound, an extra pratyaya, to make the pratipadika. An extra pratyaya is added. Where is it added? At the end of a compound. Therefore, what will it be called? Samasanta pratyaya. It's called a samasanta pratyaya. A pratyaya added at the end of a compound. Therefore, what happens now? Madra Rajan plus a will get added. And when it gets added, the na will go. Some rules. It becomes Madra Raj. It will become Madra Raj. Actually, one more a will also go. We'll get Madra Raj, and plus a will get added. We'll get Madra Raja, like Rama. Akaranta Purusha. That's why Madra Raja. So like this, you might find situations. I'll take a question in a bit. Okay. So you will find situations where you will find that the Pratipadika, what it ended in, is not how the compound ends. And that will indicate some pratyaya being added. There are a whole bunch of pratyayas. I'm not interested in covering all of them or even some of them right now. But just so you know that when this happens, you are aware what's going on. You are not wrong in thinking Madranam Raja. It's correct. But then why is it not saying Madra Raja? There's a reason. That much alone I want you to understand. Okay. Similarly, Krishnasya Sakha. Friend of Krishna. If you look, Sakha is Sakhin Shabda. Becomes Sakha, Sakhayo, Sakhayaha. It's an exceptional word. We haven't covered it in our basic words. Should have been Krishna Sakha. Become what? Krishna Sakha. Why? Because a samasanta pratyaya is added. Similarly, Vishnoho Puhu. The city of Vishnu. It declines as Puhu, Purau, Puraha, Puram, Purau, etc. But the words becomes Vishnu Puram, not Vishnu Puhu. Why? Samasanta pratyaya. Sometimes you will find that there will be an extra, a change at the end of the samasa, due to which it becomes an akaranta instead of halanta, or any such change. You should keep in mind it can happen because of certain pratyayas. Okay? Yes, Priyanka, what's the question now?
In Raj Purushaha, there also the Nakara is dropped. I think you had mentioned earlier, I don't remember what was
Yeah, there also it dropped, but for a different reason. Correct. You're right. That's why it became Raja Purusha. right? But the point is that here something drops and something gets added to in Mother Raja. An goes, a comes. Okay. I'm not getting to those rules right now, but what's important? See, when we make compounds, you have multiple factors to look at. One is which two words can combine. That's the primary. Which two words can combine to form a compound? When they combine, which word should come first and which word should come later? That's another rule. Very important to be known. And what type of compound do they form when they can combine? Tatpurusha, or Dvandva, or Bahuvrihi, or which one? Then you have this question of what changes can happen to the Purupada. We saw only one so far. Look, there are a bunch of changes possible. For example, what is Delhi or Bombay called? Mahanagara Palika. Correct? Your corporation is called not Nagara Palika, but Mahanagara Palika. What is Mahanagara? The word is Mahat plus Nagara. Mahat plus Nagara becomes what? Mahanagara. Mahat Purusha becomes what? Mahapurusha. You heard this, Mahapurusha. How did it become Maha? You go look in the dictionary, there's no word Maha, okay? Word is Mahat. Mahan, Mahanto, Mahanta. That's how it declined. It's not even a look. Some change happened. What? That Mahat became Maha. When? When it's in the Purupada. Where will the change be? 6-3. But we have to now know. We decide we can compound two words, but what changes can happen to the Purupada? Similarly, changes can also happen to the Uttarapada. Due to what? The samasanta pratyaya is one of them. Right? So, see, we are not going to be doing an elaborate study of all those, right? But you are aware that such changes happen. Take another example. We'll say Sodara. Sodara. Sodara means what? What does the word Sodara mean? Sodara, Sodari.
Brother.
Brother. Sodara means brother. Correct. Now, why is it called Sodara is brother? What is the Uttarapada in the compound? Can you spot that? Yes, Ganeshan.
Saha.
No, what is Uttarapada I asked? I didn't ask you. You're trying to answer what you already want to answer.
Udara.
Udara. Good. Udara. What does Sa mean now? Samanaha Udaraha. Same, Garbha. Same mother. Samana Udara. They share. Therefore, they are called Sodara. So what happened to Samana? Became Sa. Samanaha Udaraha Yesham Te. Bahurihi. Samanaha Udaraha Yesham Te. Brother and sister. Or brother and brother. Right? Now it should have been called Samanodaraha. That should be compound. That's also allowed probably. I'm not sure. But what do you normally find? Sodaraha. Why did it become Sodara? Samana became Sa. How do you know? There's a rule. This is called what? Purupada change. Okay? Or you say, Saturyaha. Turium is a musical instrument. Either a drum or a, I'm not sure, wind instrument. But it's an instrument. So a person is coming accompanied by a band. It's called Saturyaha. Their Sa is not Samana. There it is Saha. Or you take this. Sashariram Vavasantam. Means what? When you are embodied, what is Sasharira there? Sharirena Saha Vartate iti Sashariraha. Sharirena saha, along with the body. Saha means along with. Right? Not sa with the visarga. Now we're talking about sa and ha. Two letters, okay? Saha. Ramena saha. Saha tritiya we talked about earlier. So sharirena saha should become what? Saha sharirena. Compound should have been saha sharirena. But become what? Sa sharirena. Why? Sa sharira. Saha became sa. When? Under some condition it becomes. Purvapada change. So there are so many rules like this. So unless you know a lot of them, you won't know. But you know what? Now, whenever it is sa in a compound beginning, you can think of two possibilities. It could be saha, it could be samana. That's good enough. You will cover a whole bunch of words. You know? So if I say, whether it is savikalpaka or nirvikalpaka, what do you understand by sa now? Savikalpa. Vikalpena saha vartate. No samana. Correct? That's good to know. Correct? So whether it is, you know, like this, you will find words for these. Sa will come very common. We will think, as we think, we'll find more examples. So what should you know? That sa stands for samana, could stand for saha. Could be more things, but right now it's enough for us. So like this, we spot. So when we spot, I will tell you, hey, this is Purvapada changing. What should we understand? What we just talked about. In a compound, a Purvapada may undergo certain changes under certain conditions. Compound may get, and one of the changes is aluk. But that's not the only change. That's 25 sutras. There are 100 or 120 sutras after that, which will be other changes to the Purvapada. But what is nice, if you see a compound with a Purvapada change, you go and look in 6.3, you have to find the rule. Typically, very rarely you have to go elsewhere. If we study Pani. Okay. Then what else is there in making compounds? Let me think for a minute. Then you have to understand what's the gender and the number of every compound. What should be the gender of the compound? What should be the number of the compound? So I told you, Tatpurusha, what will it be? Gender will be the gender of the latter word. Uttarapada. Dvandva also, it will be gender of the last word. Because you may have, you know, Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, Bharata, Shatrugna. Sita is there, Rama is also there. Which gender to take for the compound? There has to be a rule. Vyavastha has to be there. It is there. Right? So like this, gender has to be addressed. Number also has to be addressed sometimes. In Bahuri, what will you do with gender? It depends on the other word, the Anya Pada being denoted. Right? That's how it will happen in Bahuri. If it's Samahara Dvandva, it means actually it's not standing or talking of multiple things combined together. It's talking of a one sense of oneness. So the whole orchestra is one. An orchestra is one unit. It's not there are many there. There are many, but that many is taken as one. You know, Panipadam, you hear. Panipadam, Tat, Gita, you will find it somewhere. So Panipado, it should have been why Panipadam or Panipadaha. That's an example of what is called as Samaharat, where the idea is not many. The idea is one. When you have body, parts of a body, limbs of a body being talked about, when they're put in a compound Dvandva, it will be Samahara Dvandva. When you have components of a musical orchestra put together, there'll be Samahara Dvandva. When you have two natural enemies coming together in a Dvandva compound, that will be Samahara Dvandva. There are some rules like this. Samahara means what? See, when I say Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugnaha, I mean 4 people. But when you make Samahara, you talk of one orchestra, one body. Sense is different. And for that, there are some rules. When will it happen? So there are rules to determine the gender of a compound, and there are rules to determine the number of a compound. Vachana and ling. Avyayi bhava, it's avyayas. They're all avyayas. What gender does it have? Samanya napumsakam. It will go in napumsaka. But then it won't entirely declare napumsaka sometimes. Part of it will not, gender changes will not happen. These are all extra nuances in compound, okay? If I tell you all this on day one, you'll run away. But understand these changes are there. They won't hurt so much. But you know these changes can be happening. That's good to know. So you are open to some changes here and there. All right. So you have to know what words can come together. You have to know which word will come first, which word will come later. You have to know what are the possible changes to the Purupada. You have to know what are the possible changes to Uttarapada. You have to know the gender and number for the compounds. These are all what add to the complexity of the problem. Okay. And to make compounds, you have to make Vigraha Vakyam. To make Vigraha Vakyam, you should know how vibhaktis are there in a sentence. To understand vibhaktis, you should know karakas. And you should also know what pratipati, the other vibhaktis, not karaka vibhakti, the term is that now. Upapada vibhaktis. Upapada vibhakti as well as the karaka vibhakti you should know. So like this, everything is interconnected. But as we grow, you will find all areas, your scope will increase. Yes, Priyanka, you had a question, you can ask now.
Swamiji, in Tritiya Tatpurusha, like some of them sound very similar to Bahuvrihi.
Like?
Like Tat Kritam,
Mm-hmm.
and it is that which is done by that.
Tat Kritam, how is it Bahuvrihi?
Because it is not talking about Uttarpada, right? It is talking about.
Kritam. It is Uttarapadam. Tat Kritam, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Tena Kritam, Tat Kritam. What's wrong with that? Kritam. I'm talking about what is done.
Right. Okay. So the meaning was written that which is done by that.
That's
So
to show you the first word Tritiya is in the sense of Karta. That's all. You translate appropriately. See,
Okay.
done by is only to show you it's a Kartari Tritiya. Nothing more. You can translate appropriately.
Right.
See, suppose I say, who has put this Rangoli here? Very nice, big Rangoli, Bhuma Rangoli. Then I will say Bhumna Kritam. Something I will say, right? So I'll say done by her. But what am I talking about? Tat Kritam means done by her. That's all. Taya Kritam. Who did this Rangoli? Taya Krita Rangoli.
So not talking about the Rangoli.
We're talking about Rangoli only. That's why Taya Krita. I'm making gender in the match with Rangoli. Assuming Rangoli is Strilinga, okay? I think it is.
Yeah. So that's where I was getting confused. If we are talking about Rangoli,
Yeah.
then the gender still depends
But
on the.
what? No, 1 second. Krita is what now? Kritam is what? Kritam is what? Done. What is done? Rangoli is done. Kritam and Rangoli will be in Samanadikaranya. I have to say Krita because the word Krita is a Kridanta word which can have 3 genders, if you remember. It can be feminine, it can be masculine, it can be neuter. So if I say, who did this? If I want to say Priyanka, I have to say Krita. If I have to say Ramesh, I have to say what? Kritaha. And if I have to say, some neuter word, then I have to say what? Kritam.
So the
Who
gender.
did it? Brahman did it. Brahmana Kritam.
So the gender would depend on Purvapada, no?
No, not really. See, the word Krita, see, you are making a mistake here. You are assuming the word is Krita. The word is not Krita. The word is Kritaha, Krita, or Kritam.
Okay.
The word is not Krita. Krita doesn't have Subanta ending. Subanta ending. Subanta ending will come only when you know the gender.
Right.
So now when I say Dashakantha, 10-headed, unless I said one who has 10 heads. Is it a man or woman? How do you know? Kantha is given to you. Dasha is given to you, but you still don't know that I'm talking of Ravana or Ravani. You don't know. Correct? That's why we are saying it has to be Visheshya Lingam. Whatever the compound stands for, the Anyapada, that gender alone will apply to the compound. Whereas in Tat Purusha, when you say Tat Kritam, if you say Tat Kritam, keep in mind, you're telling the Pratipadika. Okay? Not the word. If the Pratipadika is Kritam, then it'll be neuter. Right? Whatever is Kritam should be neuter. If it is Krita, whatever is done is feminine. And if it is Kritaha, then whatever is done is masculine. Therefore, in the Vigraha Vakya, you would know what it is. It is masculine, feminine, neuter. You have to know. But in Bahuri, you cannot know. But what do you say? You say something like, one who has 10 heads, she. When you say she, you know what you're trying to say. He. That's how we do it. Dasha Kantaha Yasya Saha. Suppose I say Dasha Kantaha Yasyaha Sa. Then it'll be feminine. Like Drishtaha Samudraha Yena Saha. By one by whom the ocean has been seen. In my Vigraha Vakya, I said what? Yena Saha. Yena and Saha both are in masculine. Therefore, Drishta Samudraha is my compound. And that will be a masculine. But suppose I said Drishtaha. Okay, thank you. Rangavalli is feminine. Okay. Not Rangoli, it's Rangavalli. Thank you, Arti. So, Drishtaha Samudraha. Instead of Yena, what's Tritiya for feminine? Yaya. Yaya Saha. It becomes what? Drishta Samudra.
Yeah.
Not Drishta Samudra. Okay. Drishta Samudra. Then Drishtam Samudram Yena. When Drishta Samudra Yena Sa. Neuter. Then it will become what? Yena is also in neuter. So it will become Drishta Samudram. So that will depend upon the Anyam. Whereas in Tat Purusha, the Uttarapada gender will be the gender for the compound. Is that clear? Better? May not be totally clear. Better? That's all I can say. Yes, Puma.
Swamiji, this is also connected with that. Last time we discussed about Tad Vijnanartham, Guru. So going by this, Tat
There,
Vijnana.
I made an exception. I said in this Artha compound, it will be Visheshya Linga. It's an exception.
So in this case, the Visheshya Linga is Tad
Guru.
Guru.
Tad Vijnanartham. For Vijnana of what?
It should be Brahmajnanam. So Tad Vijnanartham. Tat is that.
Oh, Vijnanaya.
Okay.
Okay. Vijnanaya Ayam Guru.
Okay.
That's how
So Vijnanaya Ayam will become Vijnanartha.
Yeah, correct. That's the Vigraha. Vijnanaya Ayam is the Vigraha Vakya.
Okay. So,
and that will become Vijnanartham. Vijnanartha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's an exception to Tatpurusha. Tatpurusha should be Uttarapada Pradhana.
Okay.
But there it has become Anyapada Pradhana.
Okay. Okay.
Because if you remember, I said, Yavagu is feminine. We had an example of the Yavagu. Shatrartha Yavagu or something like that. So it depends on what's being qualified.
So I had this confusion because it was for the sake of, for the knowledge, we are going to Guru.
That is true. That is true. But the only thing is, see, when we look at the compound, I have to do justice to the grammar rules here. I'm not going so much. Meaning will be there, but I'm going the grammar. See, Tadvijnanartham sa Guru meva abhigachet. Now, is Vijnanartham an adjective or Guru is an adjective? For the sake of the compound, I'm telling you, Guru is the what's being pointed out. Don't take that as an adjective. Guru meva abhigachet. For what? tad vijnana.
Okay. Okay.
So guru can be kept as mind, no trouble.
Hmm.
But what am I highlighting vijnanartham? I'm saying vijnanaya ayam. That is the only way I can explain that compound through the Panini Sutras. Okay.
Okay, Swamiji. Okay, I understood. Thank you.
Right.
Thank
So
you.
therefore, that don't take that in Tatpurusha as gender Uttarapada, because that's an exception.
Okay.
That is an exception. It is not the norm. If you go back and look there, I didn't explain all of it in great detail because I felt it is, too much to bear for all of you. So actually, you know what? I have in the doc. I will share this with you later. But if you want, I can give an exercise on all artha compounds. See how many are here now? I have hunted for a lot of them. Vyavahara prasiddhyartham, trivitkaranam, no? Tat siddhyartham hetum. Okay? So, abhipreta siddhyarthe ishyate shastrarambhe. So, like this, lot of examples. But what is important for us here is that when you have this artha shabdena chaturthyantam nityam samastyate visheshyasya yat lingam tat lingam cha bhavati. Example is what? Dvijaya ayam, dvijartah supaha. And I gave examples further down here saying Dvijaya ayam dvijartah, Chhatraya iyam Chhatrartha, Tubhyam idam Tvadartham, Shishave idam Shishwartham. Depends on what you're talking about. So this what's in bracket is telling you the linga. Payaha, Dhanam, Yavagu. Not these words. What it stands for is defining the linga of the compound. It is like Bahuvrihi. This is an exception. The compound of Chaturthi Tatpurusha with the word Artha is an exception. That is, I did not dwell on it too long, but I mentioned it to you. Okay? I hope I have not confused you more.
No, Swamiji. I think now it is clear. Thank you.
Okay? So this is what it means. Chaturthyantam nityam samasyate. You cannot have just, you cannot have Artha word in a Vigraha Vakya. You will have to say Dvijaya idam or Dvijaya ayam. No? But the compound becomes Dvijartha. And why Dvijartha? Because Supaha. If it is Yavagu, it will become Dvijartha. Okay? So, where did we come here from? I think I came from some question. Okay, we'll go back to what we have to look at. Okay, so Shashti Tatpurusha. Huh?
You were talking about what all we need to know in a samasa.
Yeah, correct. So now I went from here actually. Madranam Raja, these three I showed you there, what's called Samasanta Pratyaya. And in the context, I told you about what all other things can change when making a compound, right? So then, these Shashti, I told you, two main things we should know. One is called Sambandha Shashti, which is a relationship, which is not covered by a Karaka. And the other question, and that is also called Shesha Shashti. Shesha means other than the Karakas. Same as Sambandha. These are all examples of Shashti Vibhakti for Sambandha. But then you can have a Karta or a Karma in Shashti. That is called Kridyoga Shashti. Only in a Kridanta context you can have that. The Karta or Karma of a Kridanta noun can be, Shashti Vibhakti. Examples are these. Devasya Pujakaha. Pujakaha means what? One who does puja. It's a Kridanta word. Since it's a Kridanta word, the karma of this puja, the doer of the puja, goes in Shashti. Becomes Devasya Pujakaha. Shashti does not mean Sambandha here, it means karma. Therefore, compound become what? Deva Pujakaha. Means a worshipper of Deva. Kritihi means the work, creation. Kridanta again, you should know. Ktin Pratyaya. kritihi, gatihi, matihi, etc. Then this word, what is this? Who is the maker? Who is the agent of making this? Panini. Paninehe. This is Kartari Shakti. It's not Sambandha. It's not karma of Kriti. It is the karta of the Kriti. The composer. And that is why it still takes a Shashti Bhakti. Paninehe Kritihi. Panini Kritihi. Okay. Buddhimandyam. We are slow in our buddhi. Okay. Manda means slow. Mandyam, mandasya bhava. Mandyam. So buddhehe mandyam will become buddhimandyam. Manasaha vikaraha. Manovikaraha. So these are all examples of not Sambandha Shashti, but Kartari Krit Shashti, Krit Yoga Shashti. Gavam doha, milking of cows becomes godoha. Bhuaha bharta, the one who takes care of the earth, the king. Bharta means protector, the nourisher. Of what? What's the object that he protects or nourishes? The land. But that goes in sixth case. Bhu becomes bhuaha. Odanasya pakaha, odanapakaha. So like this, you can have Shashti Tatpurusha with either plain Sambandha or with Karma or Karta also. This should be because our Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya, they're all Karmani Shashti exam. We should know. Samasa will be Shashti Tatpurusha, but don't think it's just a Sambandha. It will be a Karma relationship. Karaka, Karma Karaka. Okay? There's a lot more in this Shashti Tatpurusha which will govern the basics of, when it should be done, when it should not be done, etc. I'm not getting into that detail. Because I realize the level of detail I'm going into, I will end up doing whole Pani Sutras for you and we will never finish Samasa for next 2 years. So I've now pulled back a little. Okay? We'll skim where we need. Yes, Ramesh.
Swamiji, so the compound can be either Tritiya or Shashti, but the context has to be known in order to understand. Because even in Tritiya, you have the Karta, Karma, Kradanta. One rule that we saw.
Didn't understand the question.
No, we saw in one of the Panini Sutras, like in Tritiya Vibhakti also, Tritiya Tatpurusha also.
Yeah.
Karta and Karma, Kradanta.
Yeah. That's contextual. Correct. That's contextual. So if I said, Tena Kritaha, that's a Tritiya Tatpurusha.
Correct. So,
but Tasya Kritihi. You cannot say Tena Kritihi. That's not allowed.
okay.
Kriti, when it comes, you have to say Tasya.
No,
These rules are to be looked at. We have to go back and look at Karaka and Bhaktis for it. I have given it a very, very loose treatment. I have not done a tight treatment for it. Because there's a lot of involved rules there. And I didn't want to overwhelm you all in the beginning. But by usage, that Tasya Kritihi, you will know.
okay. For example, like Deva Pujakaha, like if the puja is done by the Deva, then it can be like Devena.
Then you won't get Pujaka. Pujaka is one who does puja. Right. See, Devena Pujaka, what will it mean? You should be able to make a sentence for it. Devena Pujitaha, I can say. Pujaka, I cannot say. If it's Devena Pujita, it will be Deva Pujita. No problem. Tritya Tatpurusha. Devena Kritaha, Deva Kritaha. But Devasya Pujakaha, one who worships Deva. The object of puja goes in Shashti Bhakti. Okay. And to be able to use Shashti Bhakti for Kartrakaraka or Karmakaraka, you must know that the dhatu is part of a Kridanta word. The noun should be Kridanta. You cannot use this with Trinanta. Okay. So basically puja. Suppose we say pujayati. You cannot say devasya pujayati. No. You have to make it Devam Pujayati. Only when I made Pujaka with a Krit Pratyaya. Understand? The Shashti Vibhakti for Karta and Karma is only for a noun, a Pratipadika, which is formed using a Krit Pratyaya. Karma is relating to a dhatu, an action. Therefore, it can be relating to either Tinganta or Subanta. There's no problem. I can say Devam Pujayati, right? But if I say Deva Pujaka, it means something different. Because Kridanta has walked in. So we have to understand which words are Krit. So I spent a lot of time showing you what is Krit. Krit Pratyayas. We had this table also to see what all they are. You may not remember, but we have done it at some point. So you have to be able to identify at least some Krit words. Like Karta, Trich Pratyaya. Bhokta, Trich Pratyaya. Jnata, Pramata. These are all Trich Pratyaya. Then you have Tin Pratyaya. Bhaktihi, Yuktihi, Shaktihi, Bhitihi, Ritihi, Smritihi, Tin Pratyaya. Then you have Nul Pratyaya. You will get Bhojakaha, Karakaha, Harakaha, Marakaha. You will get all these. So like this, there are hundreds of pratyayas. But what is important? Shashti Bhakti for Karta or Karma can only come for the dhatu which is part of a Krit Pratyaya ending word. And not all. For some of them, you will have to come back to second case only. You cannot use sixth case. As I said, that whole set of rules is a little involved. So what should you know right now? Sixth case can be used to tell the object or the agent of an action in conjunction when the verb is part of a Kridanta word. This much you should know. I'm not expecting a perfect thing which will take which. You will not get it today. It won't happen. It's quite involved. And I cannot do it without Panini Sutras. That's how it is. But at least you understand what it's about. When you see sixth case, if you don't see a relationship between two nouns, think. You might say, oh, Swamiji, Devasya Puja looks like two nouns. It does. But still there's a verb in that puja, pujanam. And if that verb has a karaka, karta, or karma, that may be what the other noun is. It's not sambandha, it's a karaka. It's not sambandha. This distinction one has to make. And that will also, because in English translation also sometimes it'll sound like sambandha.
Yeah.
It'll sound like sambandha. Puja of the Deva. Of means what? Sambandha. You can think.
Yeah.
So that confusion is possible, but I'm just saying we are now alive to the fact that Shashti is not only Sambandha, it can also be Karaka Shashti. And what Karakas? Either Karta or Karma. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, for Deva Pujakaha, is it possible to explain it as Devaha cha Asau Pujakaha?
Possibility exists. I don't know if some rule may deny it, but possibility exists. Possibility exists. Deva Pujaka is possible. Context will have to tell us what will happen. Offhand, I don't know, because the rules are too many. All right. There is no way I will tell you compound for sure. This is how it is. Even if I spend 2 days looking at it, I cannot be sure. There is no rule that prevents it sometimes. So I won't make a definitive statement. I'll say it's a possibility. Okay. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, in the class of when we were discussing Tritiya Tat Purusha, so in that case, this Tulya Arthe Tritiya, so that there you mentioned that it can be the sixth case also can be used.
Correct.
So can we have some example for that?
Another time.
Okay.
Not right now. I will come back to you later. Okay? Because right now I'm looking to be in the subject matter. You're taking me elsewhere now. I don't want to go elsewhere right now. I want to stay within compounds for a bit.
Thank you.
Yeah. So these are examples of the Shashti with Kartrika, with the with the Karaka Shashti. Then we have Saptami Tat Purusha. Saptami Tat Purusha is what? Seventh case you will find in the compounding rule. And there you will find Saptamyantam Shaundadibhi Samasyate. What is the rule here? You will find it will just say Saptami Shaundai. Saptami Shaundai. So Saptami ending, Saptami Antam, a seventh case ending word. Shaundadibhi Samasyate. Tat Purusha Samasa Bhavati. What is Shaundadi? You have to know now which are the words. That's a Gana. So you will have several words, most of which are not useful to us. Okay.
Swamiji, you are not sharing Ashtadhyaya.
Oh, okay. I'll share it. Sorry. Okay.
Yes, Swamiji.
So Saptami Shaundai. So Saptami Antam Shaundadibhi Saha Samasyate Tat Purusha Samasa Bhavati. Example is what? Aksheshu Shaundaha. Aksha Shaundaha. We are not interested in this word, Shaunda. Okay. Now, the point is, Aksha means dice. Aksha Shaunda means one who is very keen on gambling or a good gambler. We're not interested in that word. But that's one of the examples here, Shaunda, because Shaundai begins with. Now the sutra says Shaundai. Saptami Bahuvachana is there, therefore it's not one word. Shaundadibihi, you have to add. There are some other words which are useful. So now let's look at what that might look like. Give me a second. Oops, sorry. Okay. See words. I'm just giving examples, okay? Shaundaha, Kitavaha, these examples we don't care for. Nipunaha is another word which can combine with seventh case. Shastreshu Nipunaha, Shastra Nipunaha. Common. You will see this in Bhasham now and then. Ishvare Adhi. Ishvaradhina. What is happening? Adhi became Adhina. Why? Some pratyaya came, okay? Adhi became Adhina. Some pratyaya called Kha comes. It becomes Ina. You get Adhina. But you should be able to see Adhi is okay. Ishvare Adhi is a Vigrahavakya, it becomes Ishvaradhina. Subject to the dictates, not dictate. Dictates of a master. You are not independent. Karye Chapalaha. Karya Chapalaha. Restless or active, very active. Chapala, movement, lot of movements. What is common here? All seventh case. Aksheshu, Shastreshu, Ishvare, Karye. Aksheshu Dhurtaha. Adapted cheating with dice. You know, our friend Shakuni. Akshadhurtaha. Kashyam Siddha. What is accomplished or made in Kashi. Nowadays, everything Chin Deshayam Siddha. That's how it is. Atape Shushkaha. Sun dried. Like, you have sun dried tomatoes. Atape Shushkaha. Atapa Shushka. You have a word for that. They talk of sun dried today. We had sun dried long ago. Compound. Notice, even in English, it is sun dried. What does it mean? Dried in the sun. Saptami. You find so many sun-dried things. Atapa Shushkaha. And it's Aluk Samasa, it will become what? Atape Shushkaha. If it's Aluk. Then, see, Vede Panditaha. Vede or Vedeshu, doesn't matter. Veda Panditaha, scholar in the Vedas. Sthalyam Pakvaha. What is cooked as thali? Sthali Pakvaha. Kavye Kushalaha. Skilled in poetry. What do you find? Kushala. Pandita, Pravina, Nipuna. You find a lot of words with expertise going in seventh case. Vishaya Saptami, with respect to these, he is an expert. Right? And these words are all probably in the Shaundadi Gana. Shaunda is the first word in the Gana. It's a group of words. And it could be an Akriti Gana. I don't know. Which means allow addition of extra words. Very likely Akriti Gana. Akriti Gana means a group which will allow similar words to be added. Okay. So that is what Saptami Tatpurusha will be. Okay. What have we seen so far? Tatpurusha you have, we started with saying Samanya. We haven't yet gone to special. Samanya. What is Samanyam? We started off looking into these. We looked at what is called the Ekadesha Tatpurusha. You know, Ardham Gramasya, half of the village, half of an apple, half a penny. These are all examples of Ekadesha. One part combining with the whole. Half an apple, half is one part, is compounding with the whole apple. Half an apple. Ardha Kashmira Phalam. You can make a compound. What do you need? You need the word Ardham. Okay. Dvitiya Tatpurusha. Examples were Shrita, Tita, etc. We saw. Krishnamma, Shrita, etc. Tritiya Tatpurusha we saw. Then Chaturthi Tatpurusha. Then Panchami Tatpurusha. Now today Shashti and Saptami. This is what we have done so far in Tatpurusha. Okay. Now what we have not seen here, what we have come yet is Karmadharaya. Next we'll take Karmadharaya. What is Karmadharaya? Where two words are in Samanadikaran. Like what? Mahancha asau purushaha, mahapurushaha. Both words will be in Prathama Bhakti, which means one qualifies the other. So Panini has given one simple rule. Visheshana and Visheshya may combine. That's enough to cover the whole world. But then he gives you another 15 or 20 rules to cover nuances. Which word should come first, which should come later, and why. So we will look at that Karmadharaya when we meet next week. So I'll just show you a quick summary of what Karmadharaya, how Samskrita Bharati presents it, okay? See, I changed some things. Like here, they call it Prathama Tatpurusha. I changed it to Ekadesha Tatpurusha. Because I don't like the word Prathama Tatpurusha. It's not universally accepted. Right? But nothing wrong. They gave a caveat and it's no trouble with that. Okay? So, Karmadharaya. Now they say Navadha, ninefold. These numbers are purely the writer's number, okay? You can count one more, one less, depending on the book. What is common here is Samanadikaran. When two words are in Samanadikaranyam, and they'll be both in first case, okay? Because in a compound, you cannot have a compound without one word in first case. You're talking about something, right? Whatever you're talking about has to be in first case. Either Purvapada or Uttarapada or Anyapada, but first case will be involved, 100%. So Samanadikaranyam is both Purva and Uttarapada will be in first case. So what would be the relationship between the two? One will be qualifying, one will be qualifying. Or both are qualifiers for something else. Two qualifiers. Right? It could be a comparison with something else. So therefore you find a number of possibilities of words. Those have led to a variety in Karmadharaya. But what does Karmadharaya mean? Karmadharaya means it's a Tatpurusha compound where both the words are in first case. Both the words are in first case. And there are a whole lot of words in language like that. Like Pitambaram. What is Pitambaram? Yellow cloth. Could be Bahurihi. But that's why I said Pitambaram. Ambara is neutral. Pitambaram, I mean in that sense. Yellow cloth. Neelambaram, blue cloth or blue sky. Could make words. Neelambaraha. So, but both words will be in first case. This is very typical of Karmadhara. Right? So for that, there are a bunch of possibilities which he gives like this in a simple way, in a summary form. Visheshana Purva Padaha. What is Visheshana? A qualifier is the Purva Pada. See, Nilo Megha. Megha means cloud. Nila means dark. A dark cloud. What is the word dark? It's a qualifier for cloud. What kind of a cloud? A dark cloud. Nilaha Megha. That's the Vigraha Vakya. Nilo Megha. Because of Sandhi, it becomes Nilo. So it's Nilaha Megha. Then Visheshana Uttara Pada, wherein the qualifier is the second word in the compound. Vayyakarana Khasuchi. Don't worry about Khasuchi. It means not a good Vayyakarana. Okay. But main thing is what? Vayyakarana is the main word. What kind? That Visheshana is coming second. Visheshana Uttara Pada. This was Visheshana Purva Pada. Then both words are Visheshana. Sheetam, Ushnam. How is the weather? Sheetoshnam. Both are adjectives to weather or water. Right? Both adjectives. Then Upamana Purva Pada. What you're comparing with, that is placed as a Purva Pada in compound. Megha Shyamaha means what? Meghaha Iva Shyamaha. This Iva is the relationship between the two in Prathama Bhakti. And what it's compared with, that Upamanam, is placed first. Then Upamana Uttara Pada, where what you're comparing is placed second. Naraha Vyag. So here it is dark or black like the cloud. This is what a human being who is like a tiger. But the human being came first. Upamana Uttara Pada. Sorry. The comparing Vyagraha came second. So you can see Naraha Vyagraha, Meghaya Shamaha, it's all fine. But if you flip the order, suppose you say Vyagraha Naraha, you will meaning will be completely different. So contextually, you have to know what to do. Then this is called Avadharana Purvapada. This is quite common in Vedanta. Vidya Dhanam, Vidya Eva Dhanam. What is the extra of Eva? Emphasis. Avadharana is an emphasis. Sambhavana. There are trees and trees, but there's a mango tree. That's a possibility. Amraha iti vrikshaha. That's the Vigrhavakya. Then one more is called Madhya Padalopa, or called Shakapriya compound. Shakapriya Parthivaha means what? Shaka means vegetable. A king who loves vegetables. Shakapriya Parthivaha is called what? Shaka Parthivaha. What happens? You have Parthivaha combining with another word, Shakapriyaha, and the word Priya vanishes and just leaves with Shakaparthiva. That's why it's called Madhyapada Lopa Samasa. So these are all what? And there's one more called Mayura Vimsakadi. You don't have to worry about it right now. Common example is Anyodesha Deshantaram. What kind of compound? Mayura Vimsakadi. Don't worry about why it's called Mayura Vimsakadi right now. But this is what? A summary of the various Karmadharaya compounds. What we will do next class, we will see examples, more examples of these. Okay, that's what we will do. All right, clear? Don't worry that I ran through them right now, the last section. Why? Because I'm going to come back in detail with them next week. This is just to give you a quick view of what is Karmadharaya. See, the way Samskrita Bharati book is organized is they give you a summary and then they have a detailed section later. So with Tatpurusha, I flipped. I did the details first and then I showed you summary. So I will, in Karmadharaya, I've shown you summary first. We'll look at examples. Okay. Next week, we'll look at examples. Then there are more Tatpurusha compounds called Upapada Tatpurusha, Ku Gati Tatpurusha. A little more work to be done for those. So we will look at them after we finish Karmadharaya, maybe. We'll see. Then we'll do Bahurihi. Then Dandva. That's the order we'll go. Okay. So Bahurihi, Priyanka, for the question you asked, by the way. See, normally, not always, normally in Tatpurusha, the Kta Pratyaya word will be the Uttarapada. In Bahurihi, it will be Purvapada. Okay. So if you said Tatkritaha, it is very likely to be Purusha only. Drishta Samudraha is Bahurihi. Drishta is also Kta ending. But when Kta ending word is the first word, it is likely to be Bahurihi. Okay. So it is likely to be Bahurihi. Right? So these rules will all be, but it's a good rule to remember. When you have a Pratyaya Kta in a word, if it's Purvapada, likely to Bahurihi. If it's Uttarapada, likely to Tatpurusha. Okay. Now I will take up the question Deepti asked me. We'll finish that. Second. Yeah, there it is. See, what we are saying is this. When you have, see, sutra is this. Tulyarthaihi atulopamabhyam tritiya anyatasyam. So, tulyarthaihi shabdaihi yoge. Tritiya vibhakti bhavati anyatarasyam. Pakshe shashti cha. Example is what? Tulyaha devadattena. Ramaha tulyaha devadattena. Or Ramaha tulyaha devadattasya. You can have, when the word tulya is there, and you're comparing, then what you are comparing with can go in third case or can go in sixth case. Both possibilities exist. Right? Similarly, the word tulya is not only tulya, any synonym of tulya. Therefore, sadrishaha. Sadrishaha devadattena or sadrishaha devadattasya. This is the rule. But then if you use the word tula, then you cannot use third case. The third case optionality is conflict. So basically, for the words having the meaning of tulya, what you're comparing with can go in third or sixth case. That's the example. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, Swami. Thank you, Swamiji.
Any other questions? Yes, Sampath.
Namaste, Swamiji. When I was reading this Guru Ashtottara Shatanamavali, the words in that, for example, Ahankara Nashakaya Namaha.
Okay, good. Ahankara Nashakaya Namaha. All right.
So, Ahankara Nashakaha, I am understanding it's Sashti Tatpurusha.
Good.
That is what I
Correct.
am understanding.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So,
Total Vigraha Vakya bhi.
Nashakaha, Ankara is the karma here.
Correct. But what case? Sixth case.
Okay.
Sixth case.
Ankarasya Nashakaha. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. Nashaka is Kridanta. Aka. Null.
Null.
Null is sitting there.
Okay.
Correct.
And so similarly in this, the names that are used here, Also, there will be like Bahuvri also, because here when we see the meaning, it says, my salutations to the Guru, who is the best among teachers. Atma Santushtai.
No. See, Atma Santushta is what? Atmani Santushtaha. Seventh case, Tatpurusha. Atma Santushta. See, Santushta you saw. Santushta is ending in what pratyaya? Tushta. Kta. Kta pratyaya. What did I say just now? If you have a kta pratyaya as uttarapada, likely Bahuvri is Tatpurusha. Immediately. Very likely Tatpurusha. Then what is the connection with Atma and Santushta? Hey, with reference to Atma is Santushta. Atmani Santushtaha. Atma Santushtaha. So Tatpurusha, but Saptami Tatpurusha. Okay? So there can be Dvandva, it can be Bahuri, it can be any compound. It's just an Ashtotra. All words are words in language. Which type of compound? You cannot say it's only restricted Tatpurusha. Why restrict? In fact, we love Bahuri so much. We'll have many Bahuris. A lot of Bahuris.
Here, without the context, can I even identify whether it is Bahuri?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
I told you, if you say Ahankar Nashaka, I will tell you it is likely to be Tatpurusha. I don't have to think too much. Unless I say Ahankara is Nashaka, for which it's possible, but funny kind of compound you'll end up with. Therefore, context finally will tell you, because you are the one who's using this word. A word cannot tell you anything in itself. Should be there in a sentence to make sense, really. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Yes, Priyanka. Let me do one thing. I'll forget later. I'll finish the prayer and then I'll take the questions. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Shishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Yeah. Now go ahead. Who was asking?
So there was this compound Tattva Vijnanartha Darshanam. So here can we take the artha as meaning of Tattva?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. In fact, I pointed out that time and I said, there it has to be meaning. Vijnanasya artha. If you go back and look in our document, you will find it. Give me 2 seconds. Should be there. Fairly certain I pointed that out. Okay. See, I gave an example. I said, Tattva Vijnanartha is 630p. Very clearly. So, Bhavana Paripaka Nimittam Tattva Jnanam. Tasya Artha. Very clear. Tasya Artha is Vijnanam. Jnanartha. Tattva Jnanartha. Therefore, 100% it's a case of Shashti Tatpurusha, not Chaturthi Tatpurusha.
So, Swamiji, in this case, we just know that it is Shashti Tatpurusha because we have seen the Bhashanam and the Bhashyam and the details.
No, context will tell you.
Okay.
Whether it's Bhashyam or not, context should tell you.
Okay. See,
Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam is a compound. Right? Now, how will it Chaturthi Tatpurusha fit there? You would look at it. Is it possible? Is it talking like that? Because the word Artha has multiple meanings. Here Artha is for the sake of, but there Artha is meaning. So we have to look at context. There is no other choice. And the reason I put it there in the document is to make you see that don't blindly say Artha means Chaturthi Tatpurusha. It's not true. Have to be alert. Suppose I say, Dharmartha Kama Mokshaha. Dharmartha. What will it be Dharmartha? No. It will be Dvanda compound. It's not Tatpurusha at all. It could be Dvandva, Artha, it could be Bahuri, it could be Tatpurusha, and I can also make an Avyaya Bhava using some Avyaya with that. So just the word Artha doesn't do anything. But the word Artha can combine with a word in fourth case, to make a compound, and that compound is of that type. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, you had asked us to pick up some words from Bhagavad Gita for Tritiya Tatpurusha. So I did like one or two of them I picked. So I cannot make out whether it is in the sense of Kartari or Karana Tritiya.
Okay. Tell
And
me the
also
words.
I don't know whether this is third. It might be a
Okay,
wrong.
let's hear what you found.
This Bharat Taila Purnaha.
Bharata Taila Purnaha. Huh.
So
Yeah,
Purna is a Krit Pratyaya.
correct.
So
Pratyayanta word, yeah.
yeah,
Kridanta, correct.
yeah. Kridanta. So
Tailena Purnaha.
yeah.
Tailena Purnaha Taila Purna.
So
Alright.
what will be? It is Karane Tritiya or it is Kartari Tritiya?
What do you think? No. Now you have to look at what is the dhatu you're looking at.
Purna.
What's the dhatu? To fill. Purna. Right? Pu. Dhatu will be pu or pur.
And Purna is the.
Okay. So it will be puny, probably. Puny. Purne. Very likely. So if you look in that, you will find now, is it sakarmaka or akarmaka? Let's do an exercise right now, correct? Not too hard to do. We'll go to our, we can do it from here. Go here. So we look for Pung Pavane. No, not this. Okay. Pur, sorry. Yeah. Puri Apyain. There'll be a couple of other dhatus too. Okay. If I look for, let's see if I find this word directly. See here?
See.
So what does it say? This is the pratyaya. Now you have both two possibilities here. Right? So let's take this one. Now, if you take this word, it could be sakarmaka, it says. Right? So, is it a karma though? When I say here, Tailena Purnam. See, Purna's object cannot be Taila. Okay? Filling up doesn't require an object. So fill up what? Or what fills up? Because what are you talking about? You're talking of a prajwalito jnanamaya pradeepa. Therefore, a lamp is filled with oil. Right? You will say with in English. But Tailena Purnaha, better take it as Kartari.
Karani. Kartari.
Kartari. Because Taila is not a Karna then who is a Karta? You will say Vyasa is a Karta. It doesn't sound very nice to me. Okay. What else?
So most of them, like there was confusion was there whether it's Kartari or
Fair enough,
Karani.
you have to look.
Like,
it takes time. It does take time. You want to give another example, another question, or you're done?
no, another one is Sangha Varjitaha.
Sangha Varjitaha. Okay. Correct. Varjita again is a ta pratyaya ending, and it's Tritiya Tatpurusha. Correct. So Sangena or Sangaihi Varjita.
Sangaihi Varjita. So it will be.
So Pujaswami, you would normally say for these, it is like the Sanghas have left you. You have not left Sanghas, okay? It's a Kartari Tritiya.
Kartari Tritiya.
Yeah. Okay. You will find several like this examples. If you say Karana, you have to now bring some Karta and figure out what is the Karta, what's the Karana, etc. Do an elaborate exercise to figure out what will happen. Okay. Yeah.
And another question was, are there like any set of, rule of thumb to distinguish between Tatpurusha and Bahuvrihi, some broad?
I gave one. I gave one a few minutes ago.
One was Krit Pratyaya,
Yeah.
which you gave.
Not Krit Pratyaya, I said Ta Pratyaya, not Krit. Ta Pratyaya ending. A word ending in Ta Pratyaya, if it's at the end, it is likely to be Tatpurusha. If it's at the beginning, it is likely to be Bahuvrihi. That will solve a lot of issues. Several of them. There is no, I mean, if I do recall something, I will let you know. Nothing comes offhand to my head, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any other questions?